Rain hammered the empty highway as twisted carbon fiber and shattered aluminum lay scattered across the asphalt. Steam hissed into the cold night air.
Lost forever after wrecked supercars disappear forever into insurance auctions and scrapyards. But this car was different, hidden behind the damaged
Cold night air.
This is the unbelievable journey of McLaren F1 Chassis 061, a machine feared lost forever after.
Back in the 1990s, the McLaren F1 wasn't simply fast, it completely redefined what a road car could be, built with Formula One technology.
Feared lost forever in Tux. At the heart of the machine sat a naturally aspirated BMW-built V12N producing breathtaking. Only 106 McLaren F1 cars were ever produced, making each one incredibly rare.
This is the story of McLaren F1 Chassis 061. Destroyed, rebuilt, and valued higher.
In the 1990s, the McLaren F1 silver color dominated roads as the fastest production car worldwide. Powered by a BMW-built V12 engine, the McLaren F1 delivered unmatched performance and intelligence. One of these rare machines would soon face destruction unlike anything engineers ever anticipated.
In 1997, Chassis 061 found a new owner, a well-known British actor famous for his passion for toys.
While most McLaren F1s spent their lives hidden inside private collections, Chassis 061 lived a very different existence. Its owner drove the car regularly for everyday trips, through traffic, to meetings, and even on ordinary errands.
By modern standards, the McLaren F1 was brutally unforgiving. There was no stability control, no advanced traction system.
In August 2011, relentless rain swallowed the road ahead as the silver McLaren F1 accelerated across the rain-soaked road, the rear tires suddenly broke grip. The silver McLaren F1 spun violently across the rain-soaked lanes, completely out of control, before crashing through a roadside.
Seconds later, the silver McLaren F1 slammed backward into a massive roadside tree with catastrophic force, sending a violent shockwave through the shattered supercar.
The force ripped the engine completely out, throwing it nearly 60 feet away.
The carbon fiber chassis split apart, leaving the McLaren F1 nearly unrecognizable after impact. Flames began to rise as fuel ignited, turning the wreck into a burning mechanical disaster.
Miraculously, the driver escaped with minor injuries, leaving behind a completely destroyed hypercar. Normally, damage this severe would result in immediate write-off and permanent loss of the vehicle. But this was no ordinary car, and its owner refused to let history disappear completely.
The wreckage of McLaren F1 Chassis 061 was transported carefully to McLaren Special Operations headquarters. Engineers examined the destroyed McLaren F1, documenting every fracture and missing structural component precisely. It took weeks just to calculate total damage, revealing an almost unimaginable level of destruction.
The repair estimate reached over $1 million, becoming one of Britain's largest insurance claims. Despite the cost, the owner insisted the McLaren F1 must be restored completely.
This is the story of McLaren F1 Chassis 061. Destroyed, rebuilt, and valued higher.
In the 1990s, the McLaren F1 silver color dominated roads as the fastest production car worldwide. Powered by a BMW-built V12 engine, the McLaren F1 delivered unmatched performance and intelligence. One of these rare machines would soon face destruction unlike anything engineers ever anticipated. In 1997, a famous British actor purchased Chassis 061 and chose to drive it daily. McLaren engineers retrieved original factory jigs, tools unused since the 1990s production era. McLaren engineers retrieved original factory jigs, tools unused since the 1990s production era for McLaren.
The carbon fiber chassis required delicate reconstruction, preserving original structure and maintaining authentic identity. Every repair decision balanced structural safety with preserving the car's original chassis number authenticity.
The floor structure of the McLaren F1 was rebuilt entirely, ensuring rigidity and safety compliance. The destroyed V12 engine was sent back to BMW in Munich for complete restoration. Engineers disassembled the engine fully, replacing damaged components and restoring precise mechanical tolerances throughout. The gold-lined engine bay components were restored, maintaining thermal efficiency and original engineering intent. Rebuilding such an engine required expertise few engineers in the world still possess today. The repaired chassis returned to McLaren, ready to begin careful and precise reassembly operations. Suspension systems were reinstalled, ensuring the McLaren F1 would handle exactly as originally engineered. The restored engine was lowered into the chassis, marking a major milestone in reconstruction progress. Precision alignment ensured engine integration maintained performance characteristics identical to factory specifications exactly. Wiring systems were rebuilt entirely, replicating original layouts while ensuring modern reliability standards. The windshield, using advanced technology, was replaced to maintain clarity and prevent fogging issues. The body panels were restored and repainted in original deep burgundy, matching factory specifications precisions. Multiple layers of paint created depth, enhancing the McLaren F1's distinctive and iconic appearance. Interior components were restored carefully, preserving the unique three-seat configuration design perfectly intact.
But the real challenge was never just rebuilding the silver McLaren F1. It was preserving the exact engineering philosophy.
After months of work, the McLaren F1 was finally ready for its first startup attempt. The silence filled the room as technicians prepared for ignition, uncertain if success was guaranteed.
Damaged sections of the McLaren F1 were removed carefully, replaced with newly fabricated components matching original specifications perfectly.
The ignition key turned slowly, initiating the mechanical revival of a once destroyed machine.
It worked!
Sounds incredible.
Then suddenly, the V12 roared back to life, filling the workshop with mechanical energy. The restored McLaren F1 looked flawless, yet carried a story of destruction and survival. But the owner continued driving the car, adding even more history to its already remarkable journey. Years later, the McLaren F1 was prepared for sale, its story adding immense value. Despite its past, the car's restoration and history transformed it into an irreplaceable collector masterpiece. Buyers recognized its significance, seeing beyond damage into a symbol of engineering resilience and legacy.
It's flawless.
The McLaren F1 sold for over $12 million, exceeding expectations and redefining restoration value.
What was once destroyed had become more valuable, proving history sometimes outweighs perfection entirely. The McLaren F1 stood as a reminder that survival can create legends greater than originality.
It's flawless.
Restoration value.
Its scars became part of its identity, telling a story no untouched car could replicate. This machine was no longer just a car, but a preserved piece of automotive history. From destruction to rebirth, the McLaren F1 demonstrated the extraordinary potential of restoration craftsmanship. The journey of Chassis 061 remains one of the most remarkable automotive restorations ever completed. Each component restored reflected dedication, precision, and respect for engineering excellence across generations. Its legacy proves that even catastrophic damage cannot erase true engineering brilliance entirely. The McLaren F1 continues moving forward, its story forever embedded in automotive culture worldwide. For enthusiasts, this story represents more than restoration, It symbolizes passion, risk, and persistence.
The McLaren F1 remains one of the most iconic cars ever created in automotive history.
The story of the McLaren F1 continues, its sleek silver body reflecting a legacy that inspires collectors, engineers.
Every restored detail tells a story of survival, proving restoration can redefine value completely.
The story of the McLaren F1 continues, its sleek silver body reflecting a legacy that inspires collectors, engineers.
One now stands, its gleaming silver body no longer just restored, but elevated into something truly legendary.
And persistence. What began as disaster ultimately became one of the most valuable automotive stories ever recorded. This journey reminds us that restoration is not repair, but revival of history itself.
The McLaren F1 moves ever forward, its gleaming silver body carrying a story forever embedded in automotive culture worldwide.
Its transformation from wreckage to masterpiece remains one of the greatest automotive recoveries ever achieved.
The telemetry shows a minor fluctuation here, just above the manifold.
Yes, the sensor data confirms it, but it seems within the acceptable range after the last adjustment.
The McLaren F1 proves that even broken machines can return stronger, more valuable than before.
Its legacy will continue inspiring future generations of engineers, collectors, and automotive storytellers worldwide.
The story of the McLaren F1 Chassis 061 will always represent resilience, precision, and unmatched. From total destruction to global legend, this McLaren F1 redefined what restoration truly means.
Worldwide. If you appreciate stories like this, like, subscribe, and share for more restorations.